Hello, from my technique to voice care tips, this is Peter Stewart, and today's episode of Get a Better Broadcast podcast and video voice, we're talking about marking up scripts, and today, marking up for phrases and breaths. Now, in copy written by someone else, the full stops or periods, as you might know them as, and commas and other punctuation as well, such as dashes and ellipses, will obviously already have been included. They show the intended or suggested ways that you can punctuate the copy verbally by the author, but you don't necessarily need to follow those to the letter. After all, I mean, the script is unlikely to have been written specifically with you in mind, so there's usually some leeway for you to read the script with your own, what should we call it, reading personality, if you like, as long as you keep to the original message. So there's usually a bit of interpretation for you to put maybe a slight pause in somewhere, or to lift something slightly more, suppress it slightly less, and that kind of thing. Now, bear in mind that, of course, the sentence is only a grammatical construct in the first place. We don't actually talk in sentences per se. We talk usually more in thought chunks. I mean, if you're listening to me and talking now, it's very difficult to work out where the end of a sentence is, because you may have thought it was there, but now I've actually gone on a little bit. I mean, that's fine. Was that the end of a sentence just before that's fine? That's fine for a flowing conversation, and of course perfect for a passionate podcast. But in many other presentation situations, a script is usually best. Certainly when you're reading the news, you've got to sound fluent and you've got to know exactly the point of the story and where you're going with it to be able to explain it confidently and fluently. I mean, sentences themselves just developed as a way to group thoughts together coherently on the page. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, why don't we just do without sentences with the written word, just think how confusing that would actually be. It would just be one long train of unconscious thought, wouldn't it, across the page? Time spent writing means that thoughts, perhaps of someone other than the reader, can be marshalled, explanations considered, a story arc summarised, perfect words chosen and target timings achieved, and possible stumbles and hesitations eliminated. The trick is to read the written word while giving the impression of improvisation. From London, I'm Peter Stewart.